Hello, and welcome to something quite different to what I was doing lately. As we know, the new season of League of Legends is out, and everyone has now begun their grind to become the best League of Legends player on the NA servers. I've been wanting to actually grind League of Legends ever since I started coaching, and that must mean I have achieved a rank that is respectable enough to coach, but in reality, the highest rank I ever hit was Emerald. Yes, Emerald, and I also finished in Plat last season because I really didn't care about grinding League at all. But what I have learned when starting coaching is that I can definitely achieve something big, something astronomically bigger than I have ever hit, and that is Masters. Yes, Masters is still not the best of the best, and many challenger players call Masters a healing pile of garbage. But I wanted to achieve a goal I thought was possible for me this season, and maybe I'm selling myself short and I can actually hit challenger, but that is a dream maybe for another season. I would just be proud of hitting Masters. The rank difference from where I start and where I want to end up is going to be 4 tiers after all, and that requires me to win almost 50 plus games. Not only win 50 plus games, but also win enough games to balance out my losses, so we can say that I might need to play over 150 plus games just to hit this rank. Obviously, I will speedrun through Gold and Plat, but still, I don't expect to be able to carry every single game. So, welcome to my journey of trying to hit Masters. Here are the rules I have defined for how I want to do this. Firstly, I will be playing jungle. Honestly, jungle is by far the most impactful and carryable role in League of Legends, and if I lose a game, I could put most of the blame on me. The champ that I will be maining will be Bel'Veth. I am in love with this character, amazing skirmishing power, infinite scalability, and a playstyle that heavily involves getting epic monsters in order to be a strong champ. She has a pretty decent early game, a really good mid game, and if far ahead, can absolutely carry any late game possible with her passive and Baron. Obviously, I need some champs to fall back on if she gets banned, and the champs I feel the most comfortable with are Kayn, Lilia, and Kha'Zix. All of them have different playstyles that I can pick based off of the team comp I am versing, and all of them still feel very strong and can definitely carry a game if needed to. How many games will I be playing? Well, I really don't want to burn out on League, and I think the best option is to limit the amount of games I play every day. I might increase it as the games get more difficult and if the deadline starts creeping up on me. The amount of games will be 3 each day. No more, no less. So, now that I told you how this will be playing out, let's talk about the first 3 days of my grind, but before we continue, 98% of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, and I would really appreciate it if you hit that button. It is completely free and you are coming back anyways, so why not get updated on when a new video is out? The starting point of my grind was gold for 89 LP. The first day of my grind was all 3 wins, and I don't really have a lot to talk about in these games, as I did really good in the first 2 and not as great in the last. Also, the last game was so long and we can talk about why. This season introduced feats of strength, and one big issue we had that game is that we weren't able to get them. It's actually caused us to lose a bunch of early skirmishes, and the boots are honestly really strong, but it isn't the end all be all to winning a game. The main reason why the feat of strengths was so hard to get was the top side was playing a strat that the BOWS has made called Grey Kayn, an inting playstyle that heavily revolves around collecting orbs as fast as possible and proxying in order to become ahead in tempo and generally not lose anything with his deaths. He gave first blood, 1 feat of strength already obtained for them, and topside objectives were basically unplayable, and in the end he lost first tower as well, and boom, feats of strength are now gone and the enemy got an immense power boost. This Kayn might have inted in the first 10 minutes, but after that, he is actually the main reason we won. He did the most damage and played the late game really well. It also helped that our Echo had an immensely good early game, and bot lane was overall even, so our lead started skyrocketing as the game came to more objectives. Even though my KDA is not the greatest in this game, I could say this game was still decent for me because I kept my CS numbers up and was still able to be a part of the team even without all the kills I didn't get. In the end, I had the least gold on the team, only ahead of the support, but I was ahead in gold on everyone on the enemy team except the fed Gwen. You can see how CS and our guaranteed gold can bring a comeback in any game. This Wukong and Gwen were pretty fed, but as long as you stay consistent with CS, it can turn a lot of games around. Rather than being completely useless, I was still a decent contributor to helping us win. At the end of the day, I finished around gold 340-ish LP. I don't quite remember, and U.GG can't get placement game LP, so sorry about that, but 3 wins and 0 losses so far. Day 2 is now upon us, and we have 2 wins and 1 loss for this day. This loss was thankfully something that I got a lot of information about. This was another game where feats of strength were lost in the first 12 minutes. This game looked like a loss after 15 as well. Every lane was losing and they had a pretty big lead on us. One thing I learned from this game is that I do know where the jungler is and when he will be possibly ganking, but I never really warned lanes as often or tried to match a gank as I was just focused on my tempo and my clear, but it did cost us to lose first blood. This also got me to think about my ban more as I was banning Sconner almost every game or Tom Kench as I was tired of seeing them recently. I have now started to ban Nocturne for 3 reasons. One is that this champion's early game and 1v1 potential is so good that I can never win against it unless he makes some big mistakes. Secondly, since his early game is so good, he can basically secure feats of strength for his team as I can't match him on objectives and his ganks are way stronger than mine. Thirdly, his ult is so broken and makes his jungle clear easy, and gank potential that much better. This looked like a counter to my strat on how I play, as I am a heavily objective based and farming jungler that likes getting ahead by farming so fast that I will get ahead no matter how many kills the enemy team has. This also made me learn that I can't fight against a jungler sometimes, and the best strat for me is to not match him at all, but to clear the opposite side of the jungle than him when I clear. Let me explain. When I play a game of League, no matter what side of the jungle I am on, I usually start Raptors, as I love how fast and healthy it is to clear. But sometimes that means I mash the other jungler's path, and if I can't win against them, I lose the scuttle, I will almost never win the 2v2 with the lanes, and generally will give me less options. So, if I know I am in a terrible matchup going forward, I will start cross-mapping for my pathing. This means if the enemy starts bot side and clears up, I will be starting top side and clearing down. I always will be able to get a scuttle, and if the enemy ganks top and takes too long, I can clear his jungle bot side, or I can match his tempo and gank bot or mid if I see an opportunity, knowing that he won't be there for the counter gank. Better options and overall better game plan. I'm still not done talking about this game though, as even though they were so far ahead, it took 35 minutes for them to win, and the reason for that is that every game is winnable. They made some pretty terrible mistakes in the mid game, and we were able to get that revive Otacon, which almost made us win off of that one push, and continue to push our lead, taking a bunch of towers as the enemy started making terrible plays. We were basically even after that, but they still had a lot of advantages that made them win. One was the feat of strengths, and the second was the securing the Fire Drake Soul. We were just so far behind in damage and stats that we lost the game from that alone. But I learned a lot, and I will be changing up my playstyle for the future. End of day 2, gold 3, 89 LP, 5 wins, 1 loss. Now we have day 3, and I basically have nothing to say, as all of 3 of these games I basically just carried. My consistency is helping me a lot, and these games felt like a walk in the park. The first game had a fed Vayne, but she made a lot of macro and micro mistakes that ended her killing sprees, which caused them to lose the game. So, at the end of the first 3 days of trying to hit Masters, I am now at Gold 1 3 LP, with 8 wins and 1 loss, giving me a 89% win rate. This is an amazing start, but the games will start to get harder and harder as I get higher and higher into the ranks. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing and liking the video. If you have any comments you would like to share, I would be happy to read them. Again, if you would like a free coaching VOD review, I would be glad to do it. Just go into the description of this video and add me on Discord so we can set one up. I hope your climb is going just as good as mine, and I hope you learned something from this video. Good luck on your climbs.